Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another review. Today we're taking a look at Bandai's entry-grade Strike Gundam. Just like with the RX-78-2, this is a 1/44 scale, and it's very simple, but it has fantastic articulation, fantastic color separation, especially for its very, very low price. That's going to be the main selling point of this guy. It's a really awesome kit. Didn't take very long to put together, obviously, but it has a very nice result when it's just even just snap built up like this. But anyway, let's go ahead and check it out. So just like with the entry-grade RX-78-2 Gundam, the box is just small, simple, just shows the Strike Gundam there on the front, but a very nice looking design here. You got up at the top some logos, just basically reiterating that you don't need any tools or paint or glue or anything for this, so just going to be a very simple kit. Same thing here on the side of the box with the runners in the background there. The image looks very cool. On the other side, there's a look at the runner layout, how the parts are all separated on the runners, how you can just easily snap fit everything together. And the part separation on the head, once again, looks very nice on this one. And an action pose, I guess the dynamic posability of this is going to be just as nice as with the RX-78-2 Gundam. On the other side, just to look front and back what the kit is going to look like when it's all built up there for you. Opening up the box, we've just got a couple of basic colors there, gray, red, yellow, blue, and all of our white parts, and the instructions, and that's it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the instruction manual here. We got that same box art image there up at the top, and down here once again just showing how the runners are broken up by section. So you got all your waist section parts together and all your leg section parts together, your weapons and everything. So really cool how those are laid out. On the inside there's our parts list, and then right into the construction there, head, body, legs, arms, and it's going to be pretty simple. There's weapons on the back on the color page. Some more cool information here on the inside: learn, make, and play with Gundam to its limits. So you got some text there in Japanese and English, some artwork, and then also a little advertisement here for Gundam Seed Eclipse over there. Here's some other HGs in the line, and a little blurb there just letting you know that the backpacks from the HG kits are compatible with this kit if you did want to use those. Then over here, of course, some more entry-grade kits from the line: Kirby, the RX-72 Gundam, Conan, and Doraemon. Here's our A1 and A2 runners with yellow, blue, red across the top, and then all of our gray joint parts in there. And then A3 and A4 is going to be the rest of our gray parts, weapons parts on there, and then red parts for the feet and the shield. Runners B1 and B2 are going to be some of our white armor pieces for around on the kit. And B3 and B4 is going to be the rest of our white parts, and that is going to be it. So that's everything, guys. For the price tag, I mean, it's a good amount of parts, and I think the kit's going to be really nice. Let's go ahead and get it put together. Hey guys, just a reminder that USA Gundam Store and myself are currently putting on the Battle Log contest for you guys. So if you've not heard about that, or if you haven't entered yet, you can still enter. The deadline for the contest is April 22nd. If you'd like to enter and want to hear all the details about the contest, there will be a link down in the video description below, so check that out, and looking forward to seeing all your guys' entries. Now, back to the video. Alright guys, so once you have it built up, this is everything. That's what you're going to have. You got the Gundam, the beam rifle, and the shield, and that is it. So it's going to be a very bare bones kit, obviously, with it just being a very simple, very cheap kit, but I think, as we'll see, just like with the RX-72, should be very nice, and I think it's going to be one that's going to be a lot of fun to customize. Very quick, easy kit to paint as well too. And unfortunately the Strike doesn't have as many cool alternate color schemes like with the RX-78-2. You got like the G3 colors and Char's colors and all these different stuff. With the Strike, doesn't exactly necessarily have that as far as canon alternate color schemes go, but of course you can paint it in whatever colors you want, and I'm looking forward to doing that later on. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the kit. I think we'll just go ahead and pop off the weapons and take a look at those straight away. First thing, the shield plugs into the back of the arm. If you wanted to plug it onto the back of the arm on the other side, you just rotate that around and you could do that. So if you had two of these, you could have a shield on each arm, and that could be a cool way to customize the kit. That shield connector is just on a ball joint. On the inside of the shield, you do have some nice detail there, but obviously going to need some paint to make that look a little bit nicer. On the front though, you do have some really nice color separation, again just for it being an entry grade. That's all looking good. For the beam rifle, that just sits in the hand really easily. Again, this one just very simple. You have a seam line going down the middle of that, so you will need to get rid of that seam line, but otherwise very nicely detailed. This front handle does not move, as again it's just going to be very simple, very few parts, so that's not a moving part. But then we have plenty of movement with the kit itself, as we'll see here. So again, no stickers, so that color separation you're seeing with the eyes, the yellow and the red, that's all actual parts there in the head, which is really nice. It would have been cool if we had something to make up the color of the camera lens up in there, which is supposed to be blue, but then they'd have to make a whole separate blue part just up in there for the head, and it's not this color blue, it's supposed to be like a light blue. And so without any stickers included, you are going to be missing at least some blue up there for the camera in the forehead. also around here on the back of the head there as well. The detail is there though, so it's very easy to just paint that in. While that's missing, the fact that you have gray in here for the vents in the back of the head and also gray for the vents and the Vulcans up here in the front, that is some pretty impressive color separation again for an entry grade kit. For the price, that's some really nice color separation. That's going to make painting that very easy to do as well. So here in the torso section we have just a ball joint which connects the top and the bottom half of the kit together, but then between the white and the red parts of the torso there you have some movement, so you can carefully move that both side to side and also front and back a little bit there on that joint in the torso, which is really nice. Around here on the back we're missing colors there for these vent thruster details right there, but there's your hard point where you can plug the different backpacks in from the HG kits if you wanted to do that. Our shoulder joint will swing forward and back a little bit like that. You can bring the shoulder armor up a little bit and bring the arm up to about 90 degrees right there. It's going to be about the extent of that. Alternatively, of course, if you want to bring the arm up higher, you can just rotate that around, but then your shoulder armor's upside down, looks kind of weird. The arm is going to rotate there at the top at the bicep, and then we can bend the arm at the elbow to get a little bit more than 90 degrees. Pretty good elbow bend there. The wrist is just on a ball joint. Our front skirts are connected and will move up and down all the way up like that, so you shouldn't have any issue with those. The side skirts will move out a little bit like so. The back skirts unfortunately don't move at all, so that's just all fixed in place there. The legs can spread out to about there before, if you pull it any further, you're gonna bring that up off of the ball joint there at the hip section, unfortunately. So that said, you can bring the leg plenty far up to the front like that, no issues there. Double joint there in the knee gives us a very full bend at the knee. Our ankle armor will be able to move a little bit, but not all that much. Ultimately, though, you can bring the foot all the way up like that, which is pretty crazy, all the way down to there. And then some nice side-to-side rocking movement there at the ankle as well. Up underneath the feet, you got some detail with a little bit of hollow gap going around the toe section there. The only real seam lines you're going to have on the kit are going to be on the top of the torso right there, between the front and back half of the torso. On the head, there's a little bit of a seam line here on the side, which is just kind of right behind the vent there, but it's not really that big of a deal. I would feel like you could probably just turn that into a panel line pretty easily and just leave that as a panel line there. And down here on the front of the legs, you have this seam line going right there, but there's a very light detail on the opposite side, so you could basically just keep that like that and just make sure you panel line the opposite side so that it looks like there's a line on both sides. But this line is pretty faint, so what I would do is either try to seal up this seam line and get rid of that entirely, or on the opposite side, scribe that out a little bit more to make it a little bit deeper, because that detail as it is kind of shallow. Right on the back of the leg though, above and below this vent here, you got a little bit of a seam line there and a little bit right there as well. So as we're trying out some different poses with this kit, basically what I want to do is just test the articulation, just because I know that was one of the things that was really so nice about the entry grade RX-782 Gundam, was that although the kit was incredibly simple, it was incredibly well articulated, and that's what I'm finding out with this kit as we're trying out a bunch of different poses both up on action base and on the ground. The really nice articulation in the ankles makes it so that you're able to basically do any pose that you want while keeping the kit on the ground. But of course, having the kit up on action base really frees it up to do anything that you could possibly want, so the articulation, the range of that is really nice. The only problem area that I'm really running across is just in the hips, that ball and socket joint there for the hip connection. Not really ideal, but just for the simplicity of the design, I understand why they went with that choice. It's just not really the best option for the most solid and most articulated hip connection. But anyway, other than that, really awesome kit. It's obviously going to be a bit plain out of the box with just having the beam rifle and the shield. It could definitely use some customization by kit bashing this with some other parts from a different kit in their backpack or something like that, some alternate weapons or something. But if you're a fan of the Strike Gundam, this is definitely a really great kit to just pick up for very cheap, and you can custom paint it if you want, or just keep it as it is, just straight out the box. Just throw a little bit of top coat on that, just a matte top coat. Be looking very nice just as is, just do a little bit of panel lining or something maybe. It's a pretty great addition to the line, and really looking forward to the new Gundam coming out in just a couple months. That'll be really nice as well. And I also have the full weapons version of the RX-782 released actually here as well. I need to build that up, and we'll take a quick look at that, and then in that video we can compare the two of these, just see them side by side, kind of how they compare. But for now guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. If you want to check out some more kits for yourself, of course the link to USA Gundam store and the coupon code for you guys to use will be down in the video description below, so check that out. Really appreciate you guys checking out the video today. If you'd like to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated as well. Hope you're all having a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.